guys. It's Saturday, August the 3rd, I think. On a little bit of manure with the white again. You can probably see it there behind me. Yeah, there you go. There it is. So, anyways, oops. We haul down here on the weekend because a lot less traffic on the roads. So, anyway, this is a field I don't do a whole lot of videoing in, not for any particular reason, just that it never seems to be real convenient. But we got two, man, oh man, I'm losing control here. We got two fields there down the road from the farm, or three actually, I guess. One's farther than the other two. Two are pretty much right across from each other. So we got a spread on two of them, and then the other one we don't got to worry about for now. We still got to get the hay off it. We haven't even cut it yet, so don't worry about that. Anyway, the sun's pretty bad here, so I'll check back in later, I guess. Deer flies are pretty bad here too, but there's the white. We got the plate on her, all legal lake and whatnot, so just gotta haul a bunch of loads back and forth, I guess. Well, I've got 3 loads out so far successfully, so that's good. I'm just going to take this one back now and move on to the 4th load. Heading for lunchtime. Still got enough time for a couple more loads though, so that's good. Yeah, not really much exciting to report, I wouldn't say. Man, the deer flies are hungry here. I guess they don't see people very often. But I just stopped here for a second. I thought I could see an old cut line or something, but maybe not. That kind of stuff I find interesting, but most people probably don't. I did notice this here though. Looks like someone had a little stand here at one time or something. A little further, you can see there's another board up there. Never looked up too high. If you can see anything else or not. Doesn't look like it. Used to be a few deer stands down here, but nobody does out to hunt here anymore. This field is pretty long, but it is narrow. Actually, this was the first load I made it around the back side. Coming back, usually I just take the one side, I follow it all the way down. Have a little bit left over to go across the back, and I can't make it up any farther, but I made it a little bit farther on this strip, so that was cool. But yeah, just a nice day out here today. It's not terribly hot like it was earlier in the week. It's not as much humidity with it, I guess, is what the difference is. But yeah, can't complain. White's working pretty good. Gear shifter's as vague as ever, which kind of makes it interesting for shifting on the road, but whatever. Full power shift would be nice. Maybe we'll get a white 8610 or something like that. Full power shift, that'd be awesome. Well, good afternoon guys. I got Super Dave here spreading the load for me. Thought you guys like to see some footage from outside of the cab for once, so that's what we got going on here now. Oh man, I was on the other side of the ditch there. I was all worried that someone would see me and think I was nuts or something, but I don't think anybody even noticed I was there with my bright red shirt on. Either that or they were so concerned that I was nuts they didn't even want to make eye contact. One or the other. But yeah, Super Dave isn't real good at shifting those gears, I don't think. The White has over 7,000 hours on it, and the shifter on it is pretty, well, it's vague at best. Once you get used to it, you can shift all right, but yeah, it's just a matter of getting used to it. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll tell you what did notice I was there. The deer flies. I just stopped here for a minute in the field that we call the turnip patch. It's only about 1.5 acres maybe, if that. We didn't get any manure put on this last year. We're going to put some on it this year. We got about 11 bales off it. It's not a real big piece. It's just kind of like, well, a few years ago I did a bunch of videos on it. It was kind of like a little project. We bush hogged it and cleared some of the trees that had grown up off it and whatnot. And you know, it didn't take much effort, and it's 11 extra bales that we wouldn't have had otherwise. So you know, it's nice to have a little bit extra. But yeah, the reason that we call this the turnip patch, I know I've mentioned it a long time ago, probably when we were doing that project here on the channel, but they used to grow turnips here years and years ago, probably when my uncle was a kid, I guess, back in the 60s, probably before that even. So I guess turnips were big back then, and that's what they grew here, and that's what we called it, the turnip patch. And then for a long time it was just pasture. This whole area all the way up here and down below the farm was just used for pasture, so the cows would just come out here and eat it. But we stopped using it for pasture a number of years ago, and it was just kind of growing in, so we figured we better do something with it or we'd lose it. So it is a nice little spot down here, though. I'll pan the camera around a little bit. So it's a pretty nice little view here. I did a video a few months back. We were collecting some fence posts, I think, and it was right down here. Because like I said, we don't use this for pasture anymore, so we didn't need the fence. So let me just take a little stroll here. I don't want to go too close to the bank or nothing, but there, that's close enough. Just a little tiny cove down there. If I had a selfie stick, I'd stick it out, but I don't. So, see something over in the water in the distance. Probably won't show up on camera. I'm not sure what that is. It's just something on the rocks there. The tide is fairly high though. Don't know. So yeah, just thought you guys would like seeing that. So anyway, we'll head back to the farm. I got some chores to do and whatnot, but I think this will probably be about the end of the video today, guys. Well, I'll have to see if I can zoom in when I edit this, but it's actually 2 kayaks out there that I can see. I'm a lot closer to the farm now and a lot closer to where they're at. So that's a nice sandy beach down there, right below the farm. Used to swim a lot there as a kid and stuff, but don't do much of it now. But beach is actually pretty nice right now. Actually, there's not much. Usually there's quite a bit of seaweed and stuff on it, but actually right now it's nice, pretty nice. So anyway, I'll zoom in on those people on the kayaks when I edit this video. So my uncle hauled a bunch more hay home today. Just the stuff that was down below the road here, other side of the highway from the farm. I think there's 20 bales there or something. It's the evening now. It's probably about 6:30. Cows are up there in their night pasture. A little bit closer to the barn than the other pasture that they're on through the day. And a little bit more solid fence too. So hopefully less to worry about. That's the idea anyway. But I came up here, I wanted to do a little follow up here. I just passed Super Dave, and he seemed to really want me to emphasize that he did it, but the other drawbar is on it. So this drawbar, it isn't the straight drawbar that I was talking about. I assume that both 3070s had the same drawbar on them, but the other one had a drop drawbar in it too. It's not as aggressive as what was on it though. That one's probably only about a 2-inch drop compared to the 4-inch that was on it, so it's a lot better. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better. The reason we didn't take it off the other 3070 was because the hay wagon was on it, although I don't think it's on it now, but when we switched drawbars it was on it, so that was kind of why. But yeah, it seems to be a little bit better, a little bit more even anyway. And this drawbar is kind of wallered out anyway, the hole, and it's pretty worn, so we don't mind putting this big heavy tanker on it and wearing it a little bit more. I think he wanted to keep the other drawbar as pristine as it is now, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, Super Dave swapped them out this morning before I came out, so he really wanted you guys to know that. And I'll also mention it again that he did it if the drawbar happens to fall off, so that goes both ways, Super Dave. So yeah, anyway, that's pretty much it for me today. Hopefully by the time this video goes live, I'll find somewhere to stick in some viewer questions. I see them coming in there now, so anyway, later guys. Alright guys, I got a few viewer questions to answer, so I'm going to do that now. Alright, first question is from Maritime Farmer. I forgot you had to have plates in NS. We don't have that here in NB yet. What do you do when buying a tractor out of province without a registration? So, the White, as most of you know, came from PEI, and it was never registered over there. So the first time it was ever registered was last week, actually, when we did it. So all we had on the tractor was a bill of sale. So what Super Dave had to do, and I think it all depends on what the person behind the counter in at Access Nova Scotia, which is like the Department of Motor Vehicles or whatever, depends what kind of mood they're in, because he told me that the 3070, the one with the loader on it, that one's registered also. And he said that they just registered it off of the bill of sale. But the White, he tried to do the same thing and they wouldn't register it. He had to get a form and fill it out, and then have a police officer come and look at the tractor and verify the VIN number on it, and then sign off on it, and then take it back into the Department of Motor Vehicles, and then he registered it then after that. I think he also had to get a letter or something from the dealer, or a couple letters from the dealer that sold it, which was HJV Equipment in PEI. And I think either he had to do that, or the other option was to contact AGCO and get some kind of a verification or something from them. But just getting a police officer to look at it was easier. So it was a bit of a shit show, but got her done anyway. Anthony Farming asks, what age is the White and horsepower? What about turning the drawbar over so it goes upward instead of down? So the White is a 1998 model. I think the first year for that tractor was 97. So it's 95 PTO horsepower according to AGCO, but I think they tested a bit over 100 according to tractor data anyway. And the reason we didn't flip the drawbar over was we were concerned that it would interfere with the PTO shaft on the manure spreader. The Atlantic Dairyman says, ha ha, ha ha. It's nice to see you have the infamous pile of scrap Val metal silo parts. Yeah, we've got a couple on the go now. We got two Val metal unloaders, one in each silo. So They usually render a fair bit of scrap metal every year. Not too bad though. I mean, those valve metal unloaders are a lot better than the old ones we used to have, or old one we used to have, I should say. We had an old Hanson and the bigger silo first, and that was a piece of junk compared to the valve metal anyway. I don't know if there's better unloaders out there or not. I mean, it's not like you get that many opportunities to try different silo unloaders, but we've had pretty good luck with the valve metal. But just the nature of the beast, you're always wearing through blower housings or whatever. And alright, next comment comes from Cameron Bielke. Your white 6710 is one model lower horsepower than our 6180 Massey. The interiors look almost identical except shifting levers. And then we went back and forth a little bit there, but 6180 and the 6710 have a pretty similar cab. The 6710 is actually closer to the 6280, I guess, or 6270. The 6180, I think the shuttle lever comes up from the floor just like the 3000 series. I think the Dynashift is set up the same way. It's over on the console. So other than that, they're pretty much the same, I think. I think the 6100 series don't have the big arm thing on the side of the seat, but I could be wrong about that too. Maybe they do, I don't know. But yeah, pretty similar. 6180, same basic cab. Alright, last comment. This one comes from Stephanie Robinson. The man sitting in the 160 is a little slow. I'll come over the pond and drive it for you. We run a Zaxxas 110. Keep her lit. Yeah, it's Super Dave. He's a little slow in it. He likes to save fuel, mostly. So he runs it like idle, or just the bare minimum throttle you need before you stall the tractor, or the excavator, I should say. So that's how he runs it. It's painful to watch sometimes. Alright guys, so if you enjoyed the video today, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It really helps the channel out a whole bunch. It plays into YouTube's algorithms, gets the channel noticed by more and more people, and we definitely need to increase the audience. That's always a big help. So anyway, subscribe if you want to, and until next time, have a good one.